Hello, testing, testing, audio check coming in. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. Hello? Hello, testing, testing, audio check coming in. Ooh, I hear it. I hear it. Okay, this mic is a bit stronger than I thought it was. Let's try and continue. I think I'm gonna turn up the music a bit. See what that sounds like. Yeah, I think my audio is good. Frodo and Sam walking along a country lane which borders Farmer Maggot's fields. Sam is looking up. Frodo has disappeared around a corner in the lane. Mr. Frodo! Mr. Frodo! Frodo turns, surprised as Sam comes running towards him. I thought I lost you. Frodo looks at Sam suspiciously. Sam glances down, embarrassed. What are you talking about? It's just something Gandalf said. What did he say? He said, don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee. And I don't mean to. Sam, we're still in the Shire. What could possibly happen? Suddenly, a figure comes crashing out of the hedgerow, sending Frodo flying. Frodo picks himself up, only to be knocked back down again by Pippin. Frodo! Merry! It's Frodo Baggins! Hello, Frodo! Merry, Pippin, and Frodo picking themselves up. A variety of vegetables have scattered everywhere. What is the meaning of this? Sam, hold this. Merry gives Sam a large cabbage. You've been into Farmer Maggot's crop? A large pitchfork. Pitchfork, really? A large pitchfork can be seen racing towards them along the hedgerow. Angry shouts from Farmer Maggot. Who's that in my field? Get out of it! Come out of my field, you young varmints. I'll show you. Get out of my corn. Merry and Pippin hurriedly gather their booty and race away with Frodo and Sam on their heels. I don't know why he's so upset. It's only a couple of carrots. And some cabbages. And those 3 bags of potatoes that we lifted last week. And the mushrooms the week before. Yes, Pippin, my point is, he's clearly overreacting. Run! Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin tumble head over heels down the bank into a dark wooded road. A winded Pippin, his face inches away from a large pile of horse droppings. That was close. Oh, I think I've broken something. He pulls a large carrot, almost broken through in the middle out from his back pocket. Oh. Trust a brandy buck and a took. What? That was just a detour, a shortcut. A shortcut to what? Pippin has spied something under the trees on the far side of the road. Mushrooms! Small brown mushrooms growing against the loamy undergrowth. Sam, Merry, and Pippin race towards the mushrooms. Frodo is tense and watchful. He realizes they are on a wooded road. Scattered leaves rise into the air, whirling down the road as if blown by an invisible wind. Suddenly, the sound of horse hooves. I think we should get off the road. A long-drawn wail comes down the wind, like the cry of an evil and lovely creature. Get off the road! Sam grabs Merry and Pippin as the hobbits quickly scramble down the bank, hiding under a mossy log. The sound of hooves is close, a sinister, mounted ring wraith. Interesting. A sinister, mounted ring wraith steps into view, hooded and faceless, mounted on a huge, snarling black horse with insane eyes. Frodo freezes in terror. The ringwraith pauses right beside their hiding place. He sits very still, with his head bowed, listening. From inside the hood comes a sniffing noise, as if he's trying to catch an elusive scent. His head turning from side to side. Frodo, beads of sweat gather on his brow. The ringwraith suddenly slides off his horse, leaning over the mossy log, peering suspiciously into the woods. Frodo, he's drawing the ring out of his pocket. With trembling hands, his face fevered and sweating, as if in the grip of some terrible internal struggle. The sound of sniffing intensifies as the ringwraith darts his head from side to side like a bird of prey. Frodo squeezes his eyes shut. Quick, cyclic. That's not right. Quick, psychic blasts. An evil dark tower. A great eye. A burst of flame. Sam looking at Frodo with concern. Frodo? Merry desperately hurls the mushrooms across the road. The ringwraith spins around at the sound and darts to the far side of the road with frightening speed. Frodo instantly slumps, as if a psychic link had been broken. What was that? Frodo is staring, a look of shock on his face at the ring lying in the palm of his hand. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin hurry through the trees, slipping and sliding on the muddy ground. Anything? Nothing. What is going on? Merry moves past Pippin towards Frodo, watching intently. Sam keeps looking around nervously. That black rider was looking for something or someone. Frodo, get down! The silhouette of a black rider looms against the skyline. The 4 hobbits sprawled on the ground, holding their breath. The black rider turns and departs. I have to leave the Shire. Sam and I must go to Bree. Merry looks at his friend, realizing Frodo is in deep trouble. Right. Boggleberry Fairy, follow me. The hobbits break cover. Suddenly, a ringwraith bursts out of the forest toward them. There's another one! Frodo, this way! The hobbits run. The ringwraith shrieks. Black horse hooves, snarling horse mouths, a fleeting black cow. Frodo, follow me! Is that the same person? Oops, that was the same person as earlier. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin are running towards the wide, placid Brandywine River and the ferry. Get the ropes, Sam! Stomping hooves, snarling horses. 4 ringwraiths are speeding through the fog, converging on the ferry crossing. The hobbits stampede across the wharf and tumble into the ferry. Frodo! Frodo races across the wooden wharf, followed by the ringwraiths. He leaps onto the ferry. Hooves thunder down the wooden wharf. Sam and Merry shove off with the poles. The ferry slides out into the river. Just as the ringwraiths arrive, they pull up on the end of the wharf, shrieking with rage. The hobbits cover their ears. The ringwraiths wheel their horses toward the north and gallop away along the riverbank, quickly disappearing into the fog. Where is the nearest crossing? The Brandywine Bridge, 20 miles. Lights of Bree, a small village of stone and half-timbered houses nestled against a wooded hill. A thick hedge surrounds the village. A great gate bars the western entrance. Close on, Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin approaching the gatehouse, wide eyes, ragged and out of breath. Come on! A surly gatekeeper, Old Harry glances down at them. What do you want? Ooh, that was loud. Sorry about that. We are headed for the prancing pony. Old Harry swings his lantern onto the hobbits, bathing them in uncomfortable yellow spotlight. Hobbits? 4 hobbits? And what's more, out of the Shire by your talk? What business brings you to Bree? We wish to stay at an inn. Our business is our own. I have no idea where that accent came from. To Frodo's relief, old Harry unlocks the gate. All right, young sir. I meant no offense. The hobbits gratefully enter Bree. Old Harry, eyeing them curiously in the lantern light. 'Tis old Harry's job to ask questions after nightfall. There's talk of strange folk abroad. Can't be too careful. The tall Bree folk lean over the nervous little hobbits as Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin make their way throughout the narrow streets. Tall buildings tower above them, light glow dimly from behind thick curtains. The sign of the Prancing Pony Inn. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin hurry towards it. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin come rushing in. Frodo attracts the innkeeper's attention. Excuse me. Good evening, little masters. If you're seeking accommodation, we've got some nice cozy hobbit-sized rooms available, Mr. Underhill. My name's Underhill. Underhill? We're friends of Gandalf the Grey. Can you tell him we've arrived? Butterbur frowns. Gandalf? Oh yes, I remember. Elderly chap, big grey beard, pointy hat. Ah, but there's 2 that could fit that description, isn't there? Butterbur shakes his head. Not seen him for 6 months. Frodo is shocked. What do we do now? Wide on. The noisy, smoky inn. It is dimly lit, chiefly from a blazing log fire, and crowded with a mixture of big folk, local hobbits, and a couple of dwarves. Angle on. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin are sitting at a quiet. They are sitting at a table against the wall, clearly trying to remain quiet and inconspicuous. Sam can't help himself. He keeps casting nervous glances around. Sam, he'll be here. He'll come. Merry plonks himself down at the table, carrying a very large mug of beer. What's that? This, my friend, is a pint. It comes in pints? I'm getting one. Sam watches Pippin rise unsteadily to his feet and head to the bar. You got a whole half already. Merry watches Pippin go. A couple of swarthy men leaning against the bar glance at Frodo, then quickly look away. That fellow's done nothing but stare at you since we've arrived. Sam indicates a brooding stranger who sits alone at a table in the far corner, smoking a curiously carved long-stemmed pipe, peering from beneath a travel-stained cowl with gleaming eyes. Excuse me, that man in the corner, who is he? He's one of them rangers, the dangerous folk they are, wandering the woods. What his right name is, I never heard. Around here, he's known as Strider. Strider? Frodo's fingers are nervously toying with the ring. Sweat runs down his brow. The strange hum of the ring spills into the soundtrack. A creepy whisper seems to fill Frodo's head, sound that dissolves into Pippin's loud voice. Baggins? Sure, I know a Baggins. He's over there. Oh man, he did not He did not. I've seen this movie, like, the last time I saw it, I think was years ago. But he did not just sell him out that easy. Why would he? Okay. Pippin sitting at the bar, chatting with locals. Frodo leaps to his feet and pushes his way to the bar. Frodo Baggins. He's my second cousin, once removed on his mother's side, and my third cousin, twice removed on his father's side, if you follow me. Frodo grabs Pippin's sleeve, spilling his beer. Pippin! Steady on, Frodo! Pippin pushes Frodo away. He stumbles backwards and falls to the floor. At that instant, the inn goes silent, and all attention turns to Frodo. The ring, in agonizing slow motion, we watch as it seems to hang in the air for a split second, then crashes down onto his outstretched finger. Frodo vanishes. There's a sharp intake of breath, followed by total silence. The ring wraiths turn sharply in their saddles. Instantly, aware that the ring is being worn, they spur their horses toward the distant lights of Bree. Sam looks sick. Pippin instantly sobers, realizing his folly. The brooding stranger frowns, and the inn erupts into excited babble. Frodo, as he finds himself in the twilight world of the ring, the excited crowd are suddenly moving in slow motion. Distorted voices, a weird, photographic negative quality. Frodo is moving in real time against the slow motion background. He suddenly clutches his head as he is hit with quick images of a great eye, an evil, cat-like eye, wreathed in flames. You cannot hide. I see you. There is no life here of no void, only cold, only death. Frodo is terrified. He rolls under a table, desperately pulling the ring from his finger. Frodo materializes into the real world. At that moment, a large hand reaches under the table and grabs Frodo by the collar and drags him away. Frodo is roughly pushed against the wall. The brooding stranger looms over him. You draw far too much attention to yourself, Mr. Underhill. Frodo is pushed into the hobbit's room by Strider. What do you want? A little more caution from you. That is no trinket you carry. I carry nothing. Indeed, I can avoid being seen if I wish, but to disappear entirely? That is a rare gift. He takes down the hood of his cloak to reveal a shaggy head of dark hair flecked with gray, and a pale, stern face, a pair of keen gray eyes. Who are you? Are you frightened? Yes. Not nearly frightened enough. I know what haunts you. Frodo jumps at the sound of a noise in the corridor. Strider deftly draws his sword. The door bursts open, and Sam, Merry, and Pippin appear in the doorway. Sam is squaring off with his fists. Merry brandishes a candelabra, and Pippin a chair. Let him go, or I'll have you, Longshanks. Longshanks. Strider sheaths his sword, a slight smile playing on his lips. You have a stout heart, little hobbit. That alone will not save you. Frodo, they are coming. Old Harry comes out of his lodgings with a lantern, a look of fear on his face. He approaches the closed gate with great apprehension. Old Harry peers out of his peephole. Crash! The gate crashes down on Old Harry as 4 ring wraiths ride into Bree. The 4 ring wraiths fly down the empty streets like horsemen of the apocalypse. The front door flies open. The four ring wraiths rush into the prancing pony with wicked swords drawn. Butterbur, hiding behind his bar, trembling and sweating in terror. Murray snoring softly on his pillow. Pippin stirs slightly, then settles back to sleep. The door creaks open. The four ring wraiths silently slide into the hobbit's room. They loom over each bed, raising their shining swords above the sleeping hobbits. Sam's eyes open wide. In unison, the ring wraiths stab the hobbits in a slashing, hacking frenzy. Strider is grimly listening to the sounds from his room. The ring wraiths step back from the slashed beds in triumph. A hacked blanket is pulled back to reveal nothing but a shredded pillow. The ring wraiths shriek with rage. Sam sits up with a start. Another shredded pillow is revealed. More shrieks of rage. Murray and Pippin wake with a start. Sam, Murray, and Pippin have been sleeping on Strider's bed. Frodo stands next to the Strider. And that's not what that says. Frodo stands next to Strider by the window, peering out nervously as furious ring wraith screeches echo across the courtyard from the hobbit's room. Where are they? Oh, what are they? They were once men. Great kings of men. Then Sauron, the deceiver, gave them 9 rings of power. Blinded by their greed, they took them without question, one by one, falling into darkness. Now they are slaves to his will. They are the Nazgul, ring wraiths neither living nor dead. At all times they feel the presence of the ring, drawn to the power of the one. They will never stop hunting you. Where are you taking us? Into the wild? How do we know this Strider is a friend of Gandalf? I think a servant of our enemy would look fairer and feel fouler. He's foul enough. We have no choice but to trust him. But where is he leading us? To Rivendell, Master Gamgee to the house of Elrond. Did you hear that? Bill? Rivendell? We're going to see the elves? Strider leads the hobbits to the gloom of the forest. The hobbits suddenly stop and unstrap their knapsacks. Gentlemen, we do not stop till nightfall. What about breakfast? You've already had it. We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast? I don't think he knows about second breakfast, Pip. What about What about Eleven's luncheon, afternoon tea, dinner? He knows about them, doesn't he? I wouldn't count on it. An apple is thrown to Murray, who deftly catches it. Another aimed at Pippin catches him on the forehead. Pippin! The hobbits trudge through rain, looking tired, hungry, and miserable. What do they eat when they can't get hobbits? Oh, okay, got it. I gotta go back. Aragorn, Frodo, Sam, Bill, Murray, and Pippin. Where did Bill come from? Is Bill the horse? Okay, so it just says Frodo, Sam, Murray, Pippin, and what ends up being Aragorn. Okay, and then he mentions Bill. What? Oh, okay. Sam follows at the rear, leading Bill, who is the scrawny pony. Okay, so Bill is the scrawny pony. I feel a bit better now. Aragorn, Frodo, Sam, Bill, Murray, and Pippin struggle through a dense swampland. Bugs swarm around them. Murray slaps at the swarming insects. What do they eat when they can't get hobbit? Pippin loses his balance and falls face first in the muck. The full moon stands high overhead. Strider keeps a lone watch by the dying embers of the fire. He sings quietly to himself. Let's see. To Nuviel, the elven fair, immortal maiden elven wise, about him cast her night dark hair and arms like silver glimmering. Frodo awakens, hearing Strider's song. Who is she, this woman you sing of? Strider turns, momentarily startled. He relaxes quickly. He speaks as if the tale is personal to him. 'Tis the Lady Luthien, the elf maiden who gave her love to burn, a mortal. What happened to her? She died. Strider sighs. His face bears remorse as he turns to Frodo. Get some sleep, Frodo. Frodo nods and lays back down. Strider turns. Ooh, excuse me. Strider, wow. Frodo nods and lays back down. Strider turns back to his vigil and looks up at the moon. His eyes are brimming with tears. Saruman stands over the palantir, his hands cupping the massive eye. The power of Isengard is at your command, Sauron, Lord of Earth. Build me an army worthy of Mordor. Saruman is seated as his orc overseer approaches. What orders from Mordor, my lord? What does the Eye command? We have work to do. Gandalf, lying unconscious on the cold obsidian floor. He wakes up to the sound of ripping and tearing, rising onto his knees, lifting his head. Gandalf stands as the camera pulls back to reveal him stranded on the summit of Orthanc. He is marooned on the tiny flat peak, surrounded on all sides by a sheer 500-foot drop. Another whispering wail rends the air. Gandalf crosses quickly to the edge and peers down. One of the beautiful Isengard trees is being ripped from the ground by the orcs. Gandalf looks on in horror as orcs hack into the trunk with axes. Saruman stands in rain, looking out into the dark night. The orc overseer sidles up to him, axe in hand, sweating with exhaustion. The trees are strong, my lord. Their roots go deep. Rip them all down. Camera circles the summit. More and more trees are hauled down and killed as Gandalf looks on in helpless despair. The rugged countryside as the hobbits journey on, led by Strider. The hobbits journey on, led by Strider. Strider stops before a distant hill topped by an ancient ruin. This was once the great watchtower of Amansol. We shall rest here tonight. Frodo, Merry, and Pippin collapse into a small hollow halfway up Weathertop. They are muddy and exhausted. Strider drops 4 swords at the hobbits' feet. That's when I use that, hobbits' feet. These are for you. Keep them close. I'm going to have a look around. Stay here. Frodo's eyes flickering open, he suddenly sits up, sniffing the air. Sam, Merry, and Pippin huddle over a small fire. Sausages and bacon sizzle in a hot frying pan. What are you doing? Tomatoes, sausage, and crispy bacon. We saved some for you, Mr. Frodo. Put it out, you fools, put it out! Oh, it's nice, ash on my tomatoes. Oh, that's nice, ash on my tomatoes. A sudden shriek. 5 ring wraiths on foot, running up the steep slope unnaturally fast. Go! Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin clamber desperately toward the summit, clutching their swords. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin race into the ring of broken stones on the summit of Weathertop, the ruined base of an ancient tower. The hobbits stand back to back in the center of the ring, waiting for the first assault. One by one, the 5 ring wraiths appear, brandishing gleaming swords. They move slowly towards the hobbits in the center, In the center is their leader, the Witch King. Back, you devils! Sam rushes forward with a cry. He swings his sword at the Witch King, who blocks the blow with his own sword. Let me start over. Sam rushes forward with a cry. He swings his sword at the Witch King, who blocks the blow with his own sword. Sam's blade shatters. The Witch King lashes out with his fist, sending Sam flying. Merry and Pippin, overcome with terror, throw themselves flat on the ground. The ring wraiths close in on Frodo. A venomous whisper dances in his head. Frodo shuts his eyes and staggers back, desperately resisting the wraiths' whisperings. As his hand goes into his pocket and pulls out the ring, the 5 ring wraiths utter a chilling screech of excitement. Frodo is unable to resist any longer, falls to his knees, he slips on the ring, and he disappears. No! Frodo finds himself in the weird twilight world. He looks upon the ring wraiths, now visible in their true appearance. 5 ghouls dressed in long grey robes with white hair and pallid, ruthless faces. The Witch King extends a haggard hand towards Frodo, reaching Frodo. There is no T in his name. The Witch King extends a haggard hand towards Frodo, reaching for the ring on his finger. Frodo's trembling hand extends forward, as if by the pull of the ring. He slides to the ground, unable to pull his hand away. The Witch King snarls and springs forward. He stabs at Frodo with a wicked dagger. Frodo winces as the tip of the dagger sinks into his shoulder. Suddenly, Strider charges at the ring wraiths, wielding his sword in one hand, a flaming torch in the other. He moves in slow motion, visible through a sea of mist. Frodo sinks to the ground. Behind him is a faint image of a ring wraith fleeing, his head engulfed in flames. With draining strength, Frodo manages to pull the ring off his finger. Appearing back in the real world, Sam rushes over to him. Frodo! Another ring wraith is burning and screaming. Others screech fearfully at the flame, turn and flee from the Weathertop summit. Mr. Frodo! Strider kneels before Frodo. He snatches up the Witch King's dagger from the ground, staring gravely at the long, thin blade. Help him, Strider! He's been stabbed by a Morgul blade. The Morgul blade suddenly melts, vanishing into air like smoke. Strider throws the hilt down in disgust. Do something! It is beyond my skill to heal. He needs elvish medicine. Strider lifts Frodo onto his shoulders. Strider is jogging grimly, carrying an ailing Frodo on his back. Sam, Merry, Pippin, Sam, Merry, and Pippin are running to keep up. The hobbits are carrying flaming torches for protection. Hurry! We are 6 days from Rivendell. Hold on, Frodo. You'll never make it. Frodo, head lolling about, barely conscious. Gandalf! Gandalf! A low angle, looking up at Orthanc, the Tower of Isengard gleaming in the moonlight. The camera rises to reveal the once beautiful gardens are now a pitted wasteland with smoke and fire billowing out of numerous tunnels and ventholes that litter the forecourt of Orthanc. Strange guttural chants echo up from deep underground. The camera is rising. A small moth flutters into shot and leads the camera towards the summit of Orthanc. Gandalf lies slumped against the wall at the very top of Orthanc, or Orthanc. I'ma still call it Orthanc, surrounded by a sheer 500-foot drop. He looks weak and frail, and is seemingly asleep. His hand suddenly moves at lightning speed and snatches the moth. Gandalf brings his hand close to his face and opens it. The moth sits in the palm of his hand as Gandalf mutters strange words in a foreign tongue. The moth's face seemingly listening, it suddenly flutters away. The camera follows the moth off the Orthanc summit, but drops past the moth, falling down towards the pitted wasteland, straight into a fiery red tunnel. A series of shots. The dead trees of Isengard are fed into roaring furnaces. Molten metal pours into casts. Red hot metal, beaten by sweating orc blacksmiths, armor and weapons are forged from the great furnaces. Angle on. Saruman strides among the orcs and stands looking like a newborn orc high as it escapes its birthing membrane. This is Lurtz, who rises up to stand before his master. Frodo, close on. Frodo, his eyes flicker open, clouded, red-rimmed. His head, where is it? Beaded, no, that's not what it says. His brow, beaded with sweat. Frodo's POV. 3 large stone trolls sit in the clearing. Sam pops his head in front of Frodo. Look, Frodo, it's Mr. Bilbo's trolls. Mr. Frodo? He's going cold. Is he going to die? Frodo's breathing is getting shallow. Strider looks out into the darkness. He is passing into the shadow world. He'll soon become a wraith like them. A distant cry of a ring wraith carries through the air. They're close. Frodo gasps in sudden panic. Sam, do you know the Athelis plant? Sam looks blank. Athelis? Kingsfoil. Kingsfoil. Aye, it's a weed. It may help to slow the poisoning. Hurry. Sam and Strider desperately search the dark forest floor for the Kingsfoil plant. A small white flowered plant. Strider drops to one knee, carefully pulling it from the ground. Suddenly, Strider freezes as a sword blade touches his neck. What is this? A ranger caught off his guard? Strider slowly looks up. Frodo is breathing hard, desperately ill. Frodo's half-conscious POV. Surreal impression. A shimmering figure in white leaps off a horse. An ethereal vision of Arwen. Oh, it's a girl. As she appears on the other side. Frodo, I'm Arwen. I am Arwen. I have come to help you. Who is she? Frodo. She's an elf. Arwen, who now appears in her earthbound form, a young elven woman with tousled hair, dressed in mud-splattered riding clothes. He's fading. He's not going to last. We must get him to my father. Strider quickly lifts Frodo, placing him on the horse. Where are you taking him? I've been looking for you I've been looking for you for 2 days. There are 5 wraiths behind you. Where the other 4 are. Oh, where the other 4 are, I do not know. Stay with the hobbits. I will send horses for you. I am the faster rider. I'll take him. The road is too dangerous. If I can get across the river, the power of my people will protect him. What are they saying? I do not fear them. As you wish. Arwen, ride hard. Don't look back. Ride fast, Aspharoth. Ride fast. Ride fast, Aspharoth. Ride fast. What are you doing? Those wraiths are still out there. Aspharoth springs away, bearing Arwen and Frodo into the night. Through the forest from the back of the speeding POV. Through the forest from the back of the white horse. Angle on. Frodo bouncing in the saddle. He lifts his head weakly. Surreal, slow motion POV. The horse's head bobbing. Trees sliding by. Moonlight flickers through the trees. Aerial shot of Arwen's white horse emerging from the trees and galloping across the open land as the sun rises. Aspharoth charges through the pine forest. Aspharoth charges through a pine forest. Suddenly, 2 galloping ringwraiths emerge from the trees behind. 2 more ringwraiths slide in from different directions and join the chase. Arwen grits her teeth, urges the white horse to greater speed. The white horse speeds out of the pine trees, the 4 ringwraiths close behind. Pan onto 2 more ringwraiths galloping down the hillside. Aerial shot, 3 more ringwraiths enter frame from different directions. A total of 9 ringwraiths now pursuing Frodo and Arwen. Close on, panting head of the white elven horse. Ride faster, Aspharoth. I would probably say that a little bit louder, but it's late where I'm at. Crane down as the white horse races towards the camera to reveal the wide river Bruinen in the foreground. Without hesitation, the white horse leaps into the shallow water and thunders across the ford. The 9 ringwraiths pull up short of the ford, clearly nervous of the water. The white horse reaches the other side. Arwen pulls up and turns to defiantly face the ringwraiths from across the ford. Give up the halfling, she yells. She draws her sword and yells at the Witch King. If you want him, come and claim him. The Witch King screeches angrily, draws his sword and leads the ringwraiths across the ford. The water starts flowing faster. A distant rumble can be heard. Arwen waits until they are halfway across. She suddenly stands in the saddle, arms raised. Waters of the misty mountains, listen to the great word. Flow, waters of loud water, against the ringwraiths. The ground suddenly trembles. A mighty roar fills the air. Frodo looks up weakly to see a vast torrent of water flooding down the river towards the ford as if a dam had burst. Angle on. The foaming water seems to form the shape of dancing white horses with frothing manes. The ringwraith screams in terror as they are swallowed up in the deluge. Their piercing cries are drowned in the roaring of the river as it carries them away. Close on, Frodo, as he loses consciousness. No, Frodo, no! Frodo, don't give in! Not now! Arwen gathers the small hobbit in her arms, feeling his life slip away. Delirious images and sounds. What grace is given me, let it pass to him, let it be spared, save him. Images, a city in the woods, a brief distorted glimpse of Elrond, an elven lord, working feverishly to save Frodo. Hear my voice, come back to the light. Images, a blade stabbing over and over Frodo's face, bathed in firelight. The eye of Sauron looms towards Frodo. Frodo, wow. The eye of Sauron looms toward Frodo. Frodo gasps at the eye. His face twists with fear. Image, a bright light suddenly flares. Frodo squeezes his eyes shut, gasping. Where am I? A familiar voice cuts through the swirl of sound. You are in the house of Elrond, and it is 10 o'clock in the morning on October the 24th, if you want to know. Frodo's eyes flicker open. He is lying in bed next to an open window. Dappled sunlight plays on richly carved timbers. The sound of a nearby waterfall drifts through the vista of fir trees. Gandalf? Gandalf is sitting next to Frodo's bed, softly puffing on his pipe. He smiles at Frodo. Yes, I'm here. And you're lucky to be here too. A few more hours and you would have been beyond our aid. But you have some strength in you, my dear hobbit. What happened, Gandalf? Why didn't you meet us? I am sorry, Frodo. I was delayed. A friendship with Saruman is not lightly thrown aside. With the power of his staff, Saruman tosses Gandalf from one side of the Orthanc to off the edge of the other side, where he holds With the power of his staff, Saruman tosses Gandalf from one side of the Orthanc to off the edge of the other side, where he holds Gandalf, suspended as if Gandalf is standing on the side of the tower. One ill turn deserves another. It is over. Embrace the power of the ring, or embrace your own destruction. Saruman raises Gandalf again, then sends him crashing to the floor. There is only one Lord of the Ring, only one who can bend it to his will, and he does not share power. Suddenly, Gandalf lurches to his feet and throws himself off the tower. Saruman watches Gandalf fly away from Isengard on the back of a giant eagle. So, you have chosen death. We're here. The Wind Lord soars majestically over the mountains, carrying Gandalf towards the dawn. Gandalf? What is it? Nothing, Frodo. Frodo, bless you, you're awake. Sam has hardly left your side. We were worried about you, weren't we, Mr. Gandalf? By the skills of Lord Elrond, you're beginning to mend. Elrond, Lord of the High Elves, steps up to Frodo's bedside. His face is neither old nor young, though in it is written the memory of many things, both glad and sorrowful. Welcome to Rivendell, Frodo Baggins. Frodo sits up, looking at Elrond with awe. Wide-on shot. Rivendell, A small cluster of elegant elven buildings sitting in a Shangri-La-like valley below towering cliffs and snow-capped mountains. You have found your way to the last homely house east of the sea. The elves of Imladris. The elves of Imladris have dwelt within this valley for 3,000 years, though few of my kin now remain. Angolon, Frodo looks out from his balcony. Frodo and Sam walk together. Suddenly, the voices of Merry and Pippin can be heard as they bound. Can be heard as they bound up to Frodo and throw their arms around him. Frodo, Frodo! Sam looks past Frodo, smiling. A bent figure sits alone on a bench in the sun. Frodo turns, following Sam's gaze. Bilbo! Close on. Bilbo Baggins! He breaks into a broad grin as Frodo rushes forward to embrace him. Bilbo had aged. Dang it! Bilbo Baggins! He breaks into a broad grin as Frodo rushes forward to embrace him. Bilbo has aged significantly since we last saw him. Hello, Frodo, my lad. Bilbo! Later, Frodo is turning the neatly inscribed title page of a red leather-bound journal. There and back again, A Hobbit's Tale by Bilbo Baggins. Bilbo smiles proudly. He is sitting with Frodo on the terrace overlooking a waterfall. Frodo looks at page after page of beautiful handwriting with intricate maps and drawings. This is wonderful. I meant to go back, wander the paths of Mirkwood, visit Lake Town, see the lonely mountain again. But age, it seems, has finally caught up with me. Frodo turns a page. There before him is a map of the Shire. I miss the Shire. I spent all of my childhood pretending I was off somewhere else. Off with you, on one of your adventures. But my own adventure turned out to be quite different. I'm not like you, Bilbo. My dear boy. Sam busily tries to stuff more and more things into his already full pack. Pots and pans and blankets and cooking utensils, provisions and clothes. What have I forgotten? Packed already? No harm in being prepared. I thought you wanted to see the elves, Sam. I do. More than anything, I did. It's just, we did what Gandalf wanted, didn't we? We got the ring this far, to Rivendell, and I thought, seeing as how you're on the mend, we'd be off soon. Off home. You're right, Sam. We did what we set out to do. The ring will be safe in Rivendell. I am ready to go home. Gandalf and Elrond watch Frodo and Sam from Elrond's balcony. His strength returns. That wound will never fully heal. He will carry it the rest of his life. Yet, to have come so far, still bearing the ring, the Hobbit has shown extraordinary resilience to its evil. It is a burden he should never have to bear. It is a burden he should never have had to bear. We can ask no more of Frodo. Gandalf, the enemy is moving. Sauron's forces are massing in the east. His eye is fixed on Rivendell. And Saruman, you tell me, has betrayed us? All list of allies grows thin. His treachery runs deeper than you know. By foul craft, Saruman has crossed orcs with goblin men. He's breeding an army in the caverns of Isengard, an army that can move in sunlight and cover great distance and speed. At speed. Saruman is coming for the ring. Elrond turns and walks away. This evil cannot be concealed by the power of the elves. We do not have the strength to fight both Mordor and Isengard. Gandalf, the ring cannot stay here. Gandalf turns and looks out the window and goes on. Sounds of arrivals. Gandalf watches as Boromir rides through the Rivendell gate, followed by Legolas and Gimli. This peril belongs to all Middle-earth. They must decide now how to end it. The time of the elves is over. My people are leaving these shores. Who will you look to when we've gone? The dwarves? They hide in the mountains seeking riches. They care nothing for the troubles of others. It is in men that we must place our hope. Men are weak. The race of men is failing. The blood of Numenor is all but spent, its pride and dignity forgotten. It is because of men the ring survives. Flash insert. With a broken sword, Isildur slices off Sauron's finger. Elrond reacts. I was there, Gandalf. I was there 3,000 years ago when Isildur took the ring. Flash insert. Isildur picks up the ring and stares at it, entranced. I was there the day the strength of men failed. Isildur, hurry, follow me. Images. Elrond leads Isildur into the steaming volcano. I led Isildur into the heart of Mount Doom, where the ring was forged, the one place it could be destroyed. Flash insult of Elrond and Isildur standing before the fires of Mount Doom. Cast it into the fire, destroy it. Close on, Isildur, captivated by the ring. No. Isildur turns and walks away. Isildur! Angulon, Elrond turns to Gandalf. It should have ended that day, but evil was allowed to endure. Isildur kept the ring, and the line of kings was broken. There is no strength left in the world of men. They are scattered, divided, and leaderless. There is one who could unite them, one who could reclaim the throne of Gondor. He turned from that path a long time ago. He has chosen exile. Angulon. Strider watches from the shadows as Boromir strolls through the darkened gallery. Boromir's eyes are drawn to an old fresco on the wall, depicting Isildur defeating Sauron. Boromir turns suddenly and notices Strider. Looking at him, he looks Strider up and down, confused for a moment. You are no elf? Men of the South are welcome here. Who are you? I am a friend to Gandalf the Grey. Boromir nods, understanding Strider's vagueness. Then, we are here on common purpose, friend. Boromir smiles uncomfortably. Strider only looks at him silently. Boromir looks with wonderment at Narsil, the broken blade of Elendil, which lies on a cloth-covered plinth. The shards of Narsil, the blade that cut the ring from Sauron's hand. Boromir, he picked it up! Boromir picks up the sword and gently touches the blade. A small bloom of blood appears on Boromir's finger, still sharp. He slowly looks over to Strider. He slowly looks over to Strider as if sensing a connection, but no more than a broken heirloom. Boromir replaces the blade, but it clatters to the floor. Boromir walks away, leaving Strider sitting alone. Close on, Strider picks up the broken hilt as Arwen appears behind him. Why do you fear the past? You are Isildur's heir, not Isildur himself. You are not bound to his fate. The same blood flows through my veins. The same weakness. Your time will come. You will face the same evil, and you will defeat it. The shadow does not hold sway yet, not over you and not over me. Night falls upon the beautiful valley of Rivendell, still and quiet. Strider and Arwen stand together Strider and Arwen stand together upon a stone bridge. The even star at Arwen's breast shines in the moonlight. Do you remember when we first met? I thought I had strayed into a dream. Long years have passed. You did not have the cares you carry now. Do you remember what I told you? You said you would bind yourself to me and forsaking immortal life of your people. And to that I hold. I would rather share one lifetime with you than face all the ages of this world alone. I choose a mortal life. You cannot give me this. It is mine to give to whom I will, like my heart. It is mine to give to whom I will, like my heart. Images from the prologue. The rings being given to the elves, dwarves, and men. 3 rings for the elven kings under the sky. 7 for the dwarf lords in the halls of stone. 9 for mortal men doomed to die. 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. 1 ring to rule them all. 1 ring to find them. 1 ring to bring them all together, and in the darkness bind them, in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. I did not say that with the right intonation or pattern, but moving on. Close on, Frodo opens his hand. The ring lies in his palm. He looks up. Angolon. Elrond addresses the council. Strangers from distant land, friends of old, you have been summoned here to answer the threat of Mordor. Middle-earth stands upon the brink of destruction. None can escape it. You will unite or you will fall. Each race is bound to this fate, this one doom. Frodo sits amongst the council of free peoples of Middle-earth. Elrond stands before them, addressing Gandalf, Strider, Legolas, and 20 other elves, dwarves, and men. Bring forth the ring, Frodo. Frodo steps forward and moves toward a stone plinth. He places the ring on the plinth and returns to his seat. So it is true. Sauron's ring? The ring of power? The doom of man. In a dream, I saw the eastern sky grow dark, but in the west, a pale light lingered. A voice was crying, "Your doom is near at hand. Isildur's bane is found." Isildur's bane. Boromir. Angle on. Gandalf stands and speaks in the black tongue. On the soundtrack, the ring responds to Gandalf. Angles on. Boromir staggers back to his chair. The sky darkens. Thunder rolls and the ground trembles. One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all and in the darkness bind them. Nature returns to normal. Elrond looks to Gandalf. Never before has any voice uttered the words of that tongue here in Imladris. I do not ask your pardon, Mr. Elrond, for the black speech of Mordor may yet be heard in every corner of the West. The ring is altogether evil. Gandalf returns to his seat. Boromir shakes his head. He stands again to make his case to the council. It is a gift to the foes of Mordor. Why not use this ring? Long has my father, the steward of Gondor, kept the forces of Mordor at bay. By the blood of our people are your lands kept safe. Give Gondor the weapon of the enemy. Let us use it against him. You cannot wield it. None of us can. The one ring answers to Sauron alone. It has no other master. Boromir turns to look at Strider coolly. And what would a ranger know of this matter? Strider says nothing and Boromir turns away dismissively. Legolas stands. This is no mere ranger. He is Aragorn, son of Arathorn. You owe him your allegiance. Frodo looks at Strider questioningly. Frodo looks at Strider questioningly. Boromir turns sharply. Aragorn? This is Isildur's heir? And heir to the throne of Gondor. Sit down, Legolas. Gondor has no king. Aragorn is right. We cannot use it. You have only one choice. The ring must be destroyed. Then what are we waiting for? Gimli suddenly rushes forward. He swings his axe down the ring. The axe shatters, the deafening crack, and Gimli falls backwards, staring in disbelief at the ring unharmed. Frodo winces as the angry image of the fiery eye hits him. He slumps in his chair, clutching his forehead, and Gandalf looks at him with concern. The ring cannot be destroyed, Gimli, son of Glowing, by any craft that we here possess. The ring was made in the fires of Mount Doom. Only there can it be unmade. It must be taken deep into Mordor and cast back into the fiery chasm from whence it came. One of you must do this. Stunned silence. The council sits with downcast eyes, as if great dread has descended upon them. Boromir addresses the council in a quiet voice. One does not simply walk into Mordor. Its black gates are guarded by more than just orcs. There is evil there that does not sleep, and the great eye is ever watchful. It is a barren wasteland riddled with fire and ash and dust. The very air you breathe is a poisonous fume. Not with 10,000 men could you do this. It is folly. Have you heard nothing Lord Elrond has said? The ring must be destroyed. And I suppose you think you're the one to do it. And what if we fail? What then? What happens when Sauron takes what is his? Gimli leaps to his feet. I will be dead before I see the ring in the hands of an elf. A storm of argument erupts around the room. Close on, Frodo sounds. Give me one moment. Let me do this first. Bringing my audio back. Sorry about that. I had to talk to somebody for one moment. Where did we finish with? Okay, I'll start with that part. Trying to see if my audio is working. Okay, cool. My audio is working. Awesome. Okay. A storm of argument erupts around the room. Close on, Frodo. Sound disappears as he watches in slow motion. The angry faces, the shaking fists, the accusatory fingers. His eyes move to the ring. The hum grows louder in his head. Never trust an elf! Close on, the ring fills the screen. Streams of blood flow across the surface. Flames flicker within the gold band. Do you not understand? While we're bickering amongst ourselves, Sauron's power grows. No one will escape it. You will all be destroyed, with your homes burnt and your families put to the sword. Frodo, breathing rapidly, caught in the grip of his hideous vision. With a huge effort of will, Frodo tears his gaze upon the ring. Angolon. Frodo suddenly stands. He speaks in a strong, clear voice. I will take it. I will take it. I will take the ring to Mordor. Sudden silence. Frodo looks around the room at the astonished faces. Though I do not know the way. Angolon, Gandalf rises to his feet. I will help you bear this burden, Frodo Baggins, as long as it is yours to bear. If by my life or death I can protect you, I will. You have my sword. And you have my bow. And my axe. He You carry the fates of all of us, little one. If this is indeed the will of the council, then Gondor will see it done. Here! Mr. Frodo's not going anywhere without me. No, indeed. It is hardly possible to separate you, even when he is summoned to the Secret Council and you are not. Oi! We're coming too. You'd have to send us home tied up in a sack to stop us. Anyway, you need people of intelligence on this sort of mission quest thing. Well, that rules you out, Pip. 9 companions, so be it. You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring. And I'm gonna stop. And I'm gonna say, great, where are we going? And I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna say roll credits. And I will be back next time. I do not have a schedule because I don't know where my life is going at the moment. But we shall see. And so long, so